Uh, okay, hello everyone. This is 11th week of Foundation of our Software. Just a minute. Okay, so this is 11th week of Foundation of our Software, and I'm one of the TA, Kamna Mishra from the School of Mathematical and Statistical Science Society, Mandi, and the course is instructed by Professor Salah, and he's from Department of Maths and Stats, IIT Kanpur. Um, okay, so basically, in the last class, we have gone through the data frame. So, if you remember, then we have started the data frame, how we can see the data frame basically from a library. So, let's say there is a library called Mass. So, inside that, there are a lot of data sets available in R. Otherwise, also there are a lot of data sets which are available in R, so which we can use directly for some kind of modeling or analysis or some kind of practice. But it it may not always happen that whatsoever we want to work with, that is available in R. Okay, or that is available, let's say some at some online platform. So there are a lot of sites from where we can download the data set, but that is not the case that every time it will be available online directly. Okay, so for that, what do we have? We can just import CSV files, and what we can do is that after importing the CSV file, we can import it in a form of data frame, and after doing that, we can just directly use all the operations what we do in the data frame, and then we can further work with this. Okay. Okay. So basically, the today's topics are based on that. So firstly, we will see that how we can import different types of files. So we can basically save our data in different types of files, right? We can save in CSV files, TXT files, Excel files, uh, and then we will see how we can edit those files after loading it into R as a data frame. What we can do also is that we can save this and we can export it. So let's say I have a file. mm, I have a file in which I have, let's say, three columns. Um then I can basically make, let's say I have three columns. One is the number, name of the student, and second and third is height and weight of the student. And by using R, I have found the height and weight ratio, and then I want to save it uh, in that same file, and then I want to export it. So that is also we can do. We can perform the operations in the file, and then we can save it. We can also choose to save it in different form, in with different name, so that it may not create, like, let's say, so that whenever we want to do another, let's say, function in the base file, then we have the base file with ourselves. And then we will see some descriptive stats and the graphics and the plots. Okay. Okay, so now there are two ways if I want to import or export some files. Okay, now the first way is that uh, okay, so here is my Excel and I have a lot of data sets. Uh, okay, these are two long data sets, so let me see if I have any short data set. Okay, so let us just create this data set. Okay, Mm, so let me go to this uh, direct Excel. Okay, here. Okay, and we as we have said that we will create a data set uh, with name of students. Let's say uh, name, height, and weight. Okay, so let's say name is basically, let's say, mm, A, B, C. Okay. Let's say we have six values and we have some height in centimeters. So that would be 160, 180, 165, 159, 55, and let's say 176. Okay. And some weight, we have some corresponding weight. Mm, let's say weight is in kg, so say 56 and then 71. Okay, so let's say these are the weights. Okay, so I'm gonna save it in this PC and I'm gonna browse where I want to save it. Okay, so I can save it wherever I want to. So I'm gonna save it uh, in this place, and I can save it in form of Excel, in form of CSV. So I'm saving it basically as CSV. Okay. So now if I will just go there, I have this one data set which is book one. Okay. So now there is no variable right now, but this time I'm writing so that I when I want to run it sometimes and I don't know where all of my variables, then I can put it there. So there are two ways to work with this. Now, first is that let's say I have I want to save it in um, let's say HW file, which is height weight file. Uh, then I can directly use read.csv and I can give it this location. Okay. dots and then book1.csv. Now if you will do this, does not work, so what we need to do is that we need to give it like this. See, now it is working. Another way is that if you do not want to do this double tick, then you can do simply by the single. Okay, that would be in the opposite side. See, so we both have the same results. If I will do this and I will do HW, and after that if I will do HW, so first and then second. Okay, now if I have not given the header, because I have given the header name, height, weight, that is why it came like this. If but here I can give, if I will give, let's say, header equal to true, because um, by default the header is true. Okay, so if I will write read dot csv, okay, I don't know why it is not working. Into sign read dot csv. Ah, okay. Okay. Uh, so here we have read.csv. Okay, it is not given here, but anyways. Okay, so you can see header. It is a logical indicating whether the file contains the name of the variables or not. So if missing the value is determined from the file format, header is said to be true if and only if first row contains this. Okay, so since our file have header, so if I will do this, it will be same. But if I will do false, okay, then it will come like this. So if I will give header name as false, then it will say that okay, I am creating the column name and your column names are, sorry, sorry, your column names are v1, v2 and v3, and then these are your data values. So if I will do this hw, then you can see that I have this column, and in this column there are 7 values, not 6 values, right? So you need to be careful about that whether the header is true or false. So here header is true basically, so there's nothing like that. So now if I want to access any column of it, you can see that I can just access by name, height or weight. Okay, now these are two ways. uh, See, the different ways are helpful for different work. Now if your work is like that where you always have everything saved in one folder, okay, so it may not happen all the time that you have everything saved in one folder, so it will be workful helpful in that. So what I have given the base, okay, that where file, I have given the file path where exactly it is. So I have given e and then documents, then maths, and then this and then this. So you do not need to write it again and again if your all the files are in one place. So as you can see that if I go to downloads, you can see that there are a lot of excel files here also. So sometimes I use this and sometimes I use a different way, but if you go to this folder, then you can see all are the Excel files. So what I can do is that I can give it a path directly. I can set the path in R, and I can say that okay, this is the path, and then after that I do not need to write this again and again. I can just write the exact name, and then I can just get this. Okay, so let me just remove all the files, so you can see that now there is nothing called hw. Okay, and then we will import file in that way. Okay, so the first thing is that I will do get wd. Get wds means get working directory, right? Get working directory. So my current working directory is this c user kamna documents. So my current working directory is this. So basically I can only, if I am putting this book1.csv in that path, then only I can give only name, otherwise I need to give the whole name. So what I will do, I will put this. Okay, now if I, how to get ppts of previous weeks, let me just show this, and in 1 minute I will show you. Okay, now if I will write this read.csv book1.csv and hw. So see, you have this. There was like previously we were giving this whole path and then giving this name, but now I have set this, and if you will click that get wd, so now your working directory is this. So now whatsoever file is saved in that directory, you do not need to give file path. You can see only only file name, right? But here we have given file path, right? In this also file path, but just the way of writing is different. So in this way you can see that if, but this will work if all the files are in one place. I mean, what you can do is that you have said this, let's say, and now I want to go and I want to get or read a file from other place. Let's say in, let's say the first one is saved in this and another one is saved in the downloads. This one is in documents, other one is saved in the downloads. Then I need to do this again, I need to set this again, and then I need to write this again. So that will not be an ideal case, because sometimes it may happen that, let's say you have imported this, and then you have changed the directory, and then you have imported other file, and then you may have the problem with the above file, because it has not let's say in the form of data frame yet. Okay, so that can create some problems. So whenever you have your files at different places, uh, so let me just write this here. So if you have uh, let's say different files at at saved at different folders, then then you should use then you should use this file path. And if you have all files saved in one folder, then what you can do is that then um, set directory and use file name. Okay, use file name instead of file path. Okay, so is it clear to all? Okay, so previous PPT is basically, I hope you have registered to the course. If you have registered to the course, you need to go to this place. Uh, you need to do your login. Okay, once you will log in, you can go here and then you can click on this and you will get all, let's say, all the drive files. So there are two tiers, one is Himanshi, one is me. If you will go to this folder, then you can see all the week's presentation along with their codes, so you need to run the codes with yourself. And these are the YouTube uploads, so you can go in this or this, whatsoever you can prefer. You can see one recording and whatsoever you are understanding in better way, you can use in that. Okay. Okay, so this was regarding the CSV file. Now this works for all. Let's say you have the Excel files, you have the dot table or dot txt files for table, read dot table, you have dot txt files. So you can have different types, but you need to make sure that what about the folders? You have all in one folder or not. So that works for one folder and that works for all, right? So based on your work, you can see how you can do that. Okay. Uh, Fine. So this was regarding read.csv. Then you can have table format. Then you can read that table format also just by using read.table. The only difference is makes in uh, read excel. Okay, read excel basically. So in read excel, the problem is basically in this you can see I have not written any library, right? I have just removed all the variables whatsoever I wanted to remove. So I have removed all the list of variables and I have just imported the files csv. Similar way you can import this table, but for this what you say, for this uh, excel files we need one library which is read excel. Okay. Okay, so now after importing this file, what we can do is that I can basically the change its name also. Okay. So if I am writing that call names of HW, is what is this? So it is, you can see it is name, height, and weight. This is basically the column names. Okay, of this data. Now let's say I want to change it. I have given, I'm writing. So with the name, let's say I just want to change it with symbol, or let's say the code, or let's say roll number or whatsoever. So let's say code for, these are the code for restaurant, and I want to change this height, and then weight, right? So now you can see, if I will print HW, then it will be, so I have basically changed the capital H by small h, capital W by small w, and name by code. That name is not A, B, C, D, E, F. So that is, let's say, code for the student. That for some person I have said that you have the code A, you have the code B, etc. And that is how, let's say, you can change basically. So I have imported one CSV file, and then I can change its name, or I can remove the name that I do not want this data frame have any name. So there, these are some operations we can do. Now let's say, so this is our data. Now if I want to see all the heights, so you can see this is all the heights. So if I want to find mean of all the heights, then you can see this is mean of height. Okay. Similarly, if I want to find mean of weight, then I can also find mean of weight. So I can say, let's say in class, so in class, the mean weight is 62 and the mean height is 166 approx, 166 centimeter. So that is, we can say. So now this is the summary, right? So summary we can just find by using summary SW. So here you can see that the length is 6, the class is character, the mode is character, right? So we have 6 length, and the character values we have ABCD. For the code, you can see for the code, the class is character, the mode is character. For the height and weight, it has given the whole summary. So what is the minimum value? The minimum value is 155. The first quantile, the median, the mean. So mean we have found it. The third quantile and the maximum. The weight, and for weight we have all the values also. So like once we have converted it into the data frame, we can perform any operation. Okay. So say I have this. So you can see that if I will divide the height by weight, then I can find their ratio also. So this is their ratio. Okay, so height by weight. So now you can see that, okay, by height by weight, we, what we can do, what we can say about this ratio, that okay, if this ratio is greater than this or in between this, then it is healthy. Otherwise it may be underweight, overweight, obese. So you can find that in which category it is falling, and then you can basically further code up among yourself that, okay, I have created if else code, that if it is happening, then it is underweight, overweight, and then you can have at the end the very result. So it is basically, let's say, in one site we go, we put our height and weight, and it gives us whether we are underweight, overweight, or normal, or obese. And then that you can do directly in the R, okay, or in any platform. So that is basically, you can import the file, and then you can perform different kind of operations based on your work. Okay. Okay, so um okay, so we have seen how we can edit these files. um, okay, so in some time we will see how we can export this file too. Okay, so now Let's see. So you can see that from this Excel file, I have converted this into .txt file. So you can see the values are just same, just the file format of this is different. So now if I will write, let's say HW1 as read dot table and book1 dot txt HW1. So you can see that HW1, but it this one has came. So I need to write them that header is true. So now you can see if I will write HW, I mean I have changed this name height weight, but otherwise it is same. Okay. So I can read this table in the similar format I have read this CSV file. So that also you can do. So you can basically go to this and in the save as option here, uh, you can save in Excel, in CSV, in text, or in any format you want to save. Okay, so let me save it as Excel also, because we will just see after that how we can uh, do uh, with the Excel one. So if I will do this, you can see it looks same because this both opens in the Excel. But if you go here, you can see the first one is CSV comma separated values, and here this is Excel worksheet. Okay, and this is the text document. So we will see how we can read all. So we have seen for CSV file, we have seen for the table file, and then now we will see for this Excel file, right? So for Excel file, as I have told you previously, for CSV and for table file, you do not need this. You do not need any library, but for Excel we need it. So library read Excel. Okay. So if once I have read this, I'm gonna write HW2 so that at the end you can see all are saving the same file. Okay, so if I will read this Excel file, then you can see that I have just written read Excel, and then I have given book1 dot Excel sx. So if I go here, you can see this. Go here, go here. So you can see basically all are same: name, height, weight, all the values, name, height, weight, all the values. And here, because we have done some changes in this, previously it was same. So basically For that you need, but if you do not have this library with yourself, then you cannot read the Excel file. You can read other files. So for Excel, you need one library. Okay. Okay, so that was regarding uh, how we can, how this question will be asked. Like, no, I don't think so. You can, but that will depend. I mean, I don't know exactly how this type of questions will come, but it may come that if you want to read this kind of file, then what do you need to give? Basically, as I have told you that if you do this single slash, okay, this one is backslash, I think this one is slash, then you cannot read it. You need to give double black slash or just backslash. So that is, there are some minor things which they may ask, or after reading the files how you can perform these operations, or what is the by default values, like here, let's say. Okay. So what is the correct way? I mean, it right now you may think that you remember, uh, let's say here. So we have book1.txt. So you may not remember at that point whether the read.txt was correct or read.table was correct, or inside read.table whether you need to give it inside the semicolon or not, whether you can separate it or not. So there are a lot of things that if you practice, then you will remember. Otherwise that will be tough. So exact format, I don't know how they will ask. I think there is, the format came already. So um, inbox, if I will go, so they have already given the format. um, that there will be multiple type choice, fill in the blanks, and essay type answers. So you may need to even write or solve the whole problem. So I don't know, they may ask it. Regarding LSR package in R Studio for regression, so is this part of course, Prachi? I mean, are we using this particular package in our work? Uh, Okay, so if we are working, then we will see. Otherwise, we will see in the end of class, after we will be done with our work. Then we will see how we can solve this. Okay, but in general, if you are unable to install one package, then it may happen that they have removed this package in this R update. Then you need to go to archive, and then in their archives there will have this package, and from their archive folder you can download that package. Okay, so yeah, so now in CSV files we basically have only one sheet. Okay, but in Excel files we may have multiple sheets. So if I will just open this Excel files, and let's say I have uh, okay. So in that Excel file, now we have three sheets. So let's say I'm gonna increase, or let's say just two sheets so that we can see. Okay, let's say I have G also, which is 168, and the weight is let's say 59. And I have saved this. Okay, so now if I will run this, then you can see this. If I will write sheet equal to 1, so now you can see the difference. So I can basically put two sheets. So in sheet 1, uh, I will open it again. So basically, this one is first sheet and this one is second sheet. I mean, it is gonna read it like this. It is not gonna read it like sheet one, sheet two, sheet three, because I can basically change its name also. So if I'm gonna name it that, let's say I have saved it as more values, so MB, and first one is book one. Okay. So if I will now run it, uh, two, then it will be second. Okay. So second is this MV. So you can see that for this there are seven columns, and for this there are six columns for values. So it is coming as seven values. So, so let me put it like this, one, and then three, three. Okay, so if I will read the first sheet, I'm gonna have up to F, but if I will read the second sheet, then I have increased one more value, which is G. Then you can see that I can read this 6 1. So we can have different sheets, and then once we have read it, then we do not need to have any further work in that. Okay, uh, so as I have said, we can find the mean, the summary, etc. for this also. So if I will write summary of HW3, you can see that will be changed. If I will write summary of HW2, so you can see that uh, the minimum and maximum is same, but the quantiles are different. You can see now it is 159.2. The median has changed, the mean has changed, and the third quantile. Similarly, in the weight minimum maximum, because we have not given the extreme in the end one, so that is changed. But otherwise, you can see that its quantile is changed, its mean, its median, and first quantile all are changed. Okay. uh, okay, now other thing is that if I will write this read.excel. Okay, so that is also I can give it that how many maximum rows I want. Okay, so it may happen that you have, let's say, thousand of data, let's say a data set which have thousands of rows, and you are not sure whatsoever analysis you are doing, it is right or wrong. And if it is a large data set, it may happen. Then what you can do is that you can say that I do not want to run my code for all the values. I just want to run it for some, and then I can create a loop. So then you can put, let's say, and max is 4. So you can have basically 4 values, 3 values, 2 values, based on whatsoever. Like here it is very small, you can see it is just 7 values, but there can be literally huge data sets. So let me show you one of the data set. Let's say So if I will go to this, okay, this one is not so big, but uh, mm, if I go to this data set, so you can see this is like huge data set, right? There are lots of rows and lots of columns too. Okay, you can see there are a lot of rows and columns. So in that kind of data set, what you can do is that basically that was the gridded data set. So that was the data set for different locations. So what you can do is that you can just take two or three location right now, because that will take less memory also. If you will load the whole data set in one go, then it may happen that it is not able to take and work with that data set because it is very huge. Okay. Okay, so then there are different type of formats, and I personally don't work with that, so that you can see. uh, there are a lot of different types of formats that may need to change, that sometimes when we download, uh, let's say here you can see, uh, okay, so if you will see this and this. Okay, so if you go to online platforms, sometimes they give you the data frame in .nc files. So if I will just see here, uh, go to its property, then you can see it is, the type is nc files, the size is 1.7, 1.7, right? So what I have done, I have converted it into this, so you can see the name is same, just this is csv file, and you can see that this is 38.9 MB. So when you are basically downloading some data sets, or when you are loading it to, let's say, your drive and all, what you can do is that you can basically load it the nc file, convert the csv file into nc file, or nc file into csv file. Because if you will open this, there you can't understand this. Okay, you can't understand this. This is the predicted one, right? You don't know what is written there. Okay, so there are a lot of ways we save our files, so that in different formats, so that it will take less. So basically, I cannot zip just one file. So what I can do is that I can convert it in ways. So then you will understand, like with practice, that how we can convert different files. Then there is .grib, I think, .grib file, .nc file. So there are different kind of formats you will see, and then at the end you can convert this into these kind of formats, the table, csv or xlsx, and then you can perform further operations based on that. Okay, so till now, what we have done is that we have seen the files, basically how to read it. Now, this one is regarding the importing. So we have not exported any file till now. Now we will see how we can export this. So to export, basically, we need to create a data frame, and then we will export it in some format. Okay, so let's say I have created one, this, where, let's say I'm just gonna write this 1 to 20. Okay, so my x is 1 to 20, and then I can just write my x, and I'm gonna write it like file, and file name I can give, let's say worms. Okay, so you can see this is saved. Now you can see I'm not able to open it. Why? Because I have not given any format to it. Okay, so as soon as I will give it was dot txt. So I will just delete this, and now I can read this txt. So it is saved like 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 up to 20, right? You can see now this one is saved. So basically you need to give after this, or you can give csv. So if I will give csv, then you can see I have this CSV file which is saved like this. Okay, okay, and from here I can change basically. So I can do this. I can do some kind of changes if I want to do. Okay, so we are not going to save this kind of format obviously, but we are just saying that this is how we can do it. Okay, now let's say I'm just saving it as txt, and let's say I have given this letters 1 to 20. So y is this, and I'm gonna write this firstly y file was dot txt. Okay, so now you can see that this has came, but the previous one is removed, right? The previously I have saved this 1 to 20 values. Now I'm saving this values, but now it is removed. So what I can do is that I can just write this, and so now you can see that the previous value has came also, and then the character values which we have appended, that is also coming. So you can see that I have both the values here. Okay, so these are some ways you can just export your work, but otherwise, I mean, this is not something useful to import like this. So what we can do is this: we can basically export our data frame whatsoever we want to work with. So let's say I have created one data frame here, and then I want to export it. Okay, so till now this is my HW, and uh, now you can see my HW4 is this. Okay, or let's say I'm giving it like this. So now you can see, I need to remove this firstly. Okay, and then I have given one more. So I have taken, let's say, a b. So basically I have code, height, weight, and then ratio. Now uh, what I want to do is that write dot csv, um, hw, and I want to export it by this um, book one ratio dot csv. Okay. So now you can see that we had this book one previously, and I have done the ratio. I have found the ratio with the help of this R software. I can remove this later. Let's say delete it, or we can keep it. That these are basically just serial number, and then you can see previously I have height, weight. Now I have the ratio of them also. So that is how you can perform some operations on R, and then further you can basically uh, further you can some add something and add a new column. So basically you have increase your work, and then after, like, let's say finding the ratio, you can make one more column regarding underweight or overweight by using ifs. So you can do this, and then at the end, like, once I have done this, I do not want to do this again and again, right? Every time. So I will just export it in form of CSV, so that whenever I want to see whatsoever work I have done, then I can directly see the CSV file. I do not need to run the code again and again. Okay. Uh, so that was regarding this. Okay. So before moving to the next part, let us do this example, because we have done this and then we have the descriptive stats and the graphics and the plots. So before moving to this, let us do this some examples regarding this. So I think there are just four examples. So we will just do that and then we will move to that. Okay. So what do you think will be the answer first one? D. Okay, so we have a CSV file which we need to read, and with a header. So that's header will be true. So firstly, there is no dot, so this will not be correct. Here it is given false. Here CSV.read is not true. So we have read.csv first thing, and we have header is true. Okay, the next one. We have .txt file, and then we want to separate it, tab separated. Okay, so we have not done this tab separated. Okay, so if I have this, uh, then I can use separate. So that will be separated by this. If I will do this, then it will not be separated at all. Okay. Okay, so basically here we need to see the read dot table, if we will not do this. Okay, so in this we have not given this in inverted comma. This is wrong. This is txt. So this is the only correct, because it is given read dot table firstly, and then given the inverted comma also, and the header is true as it is said, and the separative is true. Okay, the next one. The next one is we want to find the command from read Excel package to read the sheet 4 of Excel SX.
When will be the sheet index will be used?
Can you repeat it?
Sheet index.
Sheet index. No, we do not have sheet index. We have the sheet.
Then option A will be the correct.
Yeah. So if you see here, we write sheet. Okay, we do not write sheet index. Okay. So firstly, we have you can see firstly we have read Excel. So read Excel and then file in this, and then we have sheet equal to 4. Okay. And then the last one. Okay, so that we have not done. We have just directly done the sheet. We have not seen the sheet name. So, so that's 6. And here, okay, this one. Let's see. Name is B. Okay, where it is. Sheet. Okay, so sheet name is also not working. Um, okay, so whether it is a name or a value, it is gonna take the same thing, which is sheet. So here also just sheet if you give the value, or you can give directly. So these two are wrong because it is dot, and here read Excel. So this one will be the correct one. You do not need to give. Okay, so the next we will see. So basically, we have which R command will give you absolute frequency of vectors and all, and then we will see the tables. Okay, so I think you have done this, must have done this somewhere, which is absolute. Okay, we will see that later. So basically, we have two types of frequency, or like in a lot of places we use this, even velocity, absolute velocity, relative velocity. So absolute means basically it's direct, right? And what is its direct value? Relative means in relation to some other, right? So absolute, uh, let's say everyone's weight. Okay, so let's say everyone's weight, we have some values. So as we have seen that there are a lot of values, and then we see the weights in relation to their heights or in relation to the mean weight. So with mean weight we can see that its weight is greater than the mean value or less than the mean value, in that form. So that way it is basically the related, and otherwise it is um, same. Okay, so now uh, okay, so basically we have a very common one. Okay, let me see if I have already these values, because I will not need to write this. Okay, I've done this with the previous one. Okay. Okay. So we can just create this, or we can use other data frame saved in R. So we can basically create this. So uh, let me say that HT, so head or tail. Okay. So now in head or tail, we can have basically, let's say, head for 1 and tail for 0. So we can have some random values. Let's say, okay, so basically it is 6. Okay, let me write this after all this. Okay. Okay, so now there are 20 values of head and tail. Now if I will do this table HT, so okay, this is exact, I don't know, so it generally does not happen. So let me do this so that it will have something. Okay, so you can see that uh, if I will do this table, then I have this. Then if I will do this uh, divided by the length of this HT. Okay, so now you can see that it is 0.45, it is 0.55. So that is basically, if you will try to understand 911, then it you may not understand that what is exactly this. But once we have this, then we will understand that okay, this is 45% of time the zero has come, and 55% of time this one has come. So that is basically a better way to understand it. Okay, so now this one was just 1 and 0. Then we can have, let's say, if you go to any site, let's say Amazon, Flipkart, or any sites, so what you do is that what you first check is that you see this review. So you see it is whether it is 4 star, 5 star, what exactly it is. And if you go below, then what you will see is that how many number of people have given this 5, how many people have given this 4, and how many people have given this one. And based on that, they find this, okay, this product is basically 4 star. So there must be someone who have given the 1 or 2. Okay, otherwise it will not be 4, it will be 5 always. So in that form also, in we can use these type of data. So let's say uh, now we have, let's say, review data. Okay, so I can have any random values uh, between, in between, let's say this uh, 1 to 5, right? So till now it is 34. So let us make this 50. Okay, it is 47. 3 more values. Okay, so now we have, let's say, 50 reviews, and this is uh, uh, file. So what we can do is that we can make this table of review. So now the place where you see that this many people, so this is basically the table. So basically 10 people have given this 5, 14 people have given 4, 13 people have given 3, and 5 people have given 2, and 8 people have given 1. If I will find this mean of the review, then you can see it is 3.26. So it is not in general a good rating. We basically see whether it is greater than 4, or sometimes for some products, let's say, we can consider whether it is greater than 3. So that is you can do. Now other thing is, so if I will just do this table by length of review, then you can see that 16% of the people have said this, 10% to 26 and 28 and 20%. Okay, so this one is basically the absolute frequency, absolute frequency, and this one is relative, because this one is relative uh, to the whole number. uh, let's say I'll just increase, let's say 5. Okay, so if I will do this, you can see that there is no change here: 8, 5, 13, 14, 10. But if I do this, you can see all the values have changed, right? This 0.16 has changed, this has changed, this has changed. So if I will just increase one value, there is no change in this. Just 10 is replaced by 11 in absolute frequency, because that is related to just ourselves. So that one review is related to one review, it is not related to other. But as soon as you change this, the relative frequency will be changed. So relative frequency of these all decreased. Why? Because one, I have increased one value of 5, so relative frequency of this 5 is increased. So it has increased from zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.21, and for all others it has decreased. You can see 0.28 to 0.27, 0.25, 0.09, 0.15. So for all others, it has decreased. So relative frequency most of the time is better measure. Okay. Okay. So this was regarding the frequency. And then we have percentile. So you must have heard of, let's say, a person has got 99 percentile, etc. So, and then there is quantile. So the quantile and percentile, quantile. So basically, it means dividing it into 4 parts, right? So you have the mean value, and then first quantile, and then second quantile, then third quantile, and then we have the maximum one, right? So even when we find the summary of something, then also we see that we have the quantiles. uh, if I have removed this, but okay, if I will just do this, you can see I have minimum first quantile, median is the second quantile, mean is not the second quantile, and then third quantile, and then maximum. So that is regarding the quantile. And if you want to divide it with, let's say, into 100 portions, then you will have this percentile. Okay, so if I will just write quantile of review, then you can see 0 quantile 1. So it is basically minimum and maximum. Then 25% you have 2.5, and then 75 you have 4, and this is 3. So these are the quantile. I mean, we can take some other so that it will look much better. Okay, so let us make some other data set. Mm, so we can take this height. okay, which we have used earlier. Okay, so let's say height are like this. And let's say some values, let's say 59.5 and then 63. Okay, so let's say these are our height values. There are 13. This and we can just add some 166 and 158. Okay, so these are 15 height values. Now if I will do the quantile of height, then you can see the minimum out of them is 153, the maximum is 185, and then the first quantile is lying at 159.5. The median is lying as 156, and then the third quantile is at 177. So that is basically the quantile. Now, in this quantile, I have not given any thing that I want the values at this. So it will give on its own. But I can just change it. I can change that I do not want these at 25, 50 and all. I want these at 20% or 10%, etc. So there uh, I can give this height, and I can write this probability, and I can give this as give me at 0, which it has given already, and then I can write 0 0.2, 0 0.4, 0 0.6, 0 0.8, and then 1. Okay, so you now you can see rather than 25, 50 and all, it has given me at 0, 20, 10, etc. Okay, right. So now this one is regarding this. uh, I can also find this quantile of height, and then as sequence 0 to 1, and let's say I'm dividing by point 1. Okay, so now it is basically divided into 10 parts. So uh, if you do this sequence, it is 0, 0.1 up to 1. So it is 0, 10%, 20% and 100%. If I will make this further, then it will give you the percentiles, right? So these are the quantile, these are basically the percentiles. So basically out of 100 we say, right? So this one is 0, 1, 2 and 99 up to 100. So these are all the percentile values. So these are basically the quantile. Okay. Um, okay. So we will do this all after completing this graphics. Okay. The next is graphics and plots. So basic idea of making graphics is basically you can understand everything by values also, but the in general thing is that if you have anything in the plot, then we understand it very fast. So let's say here the height is given, let's say this, but I it will be very tough for me to find the maximum if I want to go there. I mean, I can perform the operations, but just by looking at the data, that will be very tough. So for that, we use mostly the graphics. Sometimes also we use at the end, like it is basically so that we can understand, like we use the emoji, right? So sometimes we do not want to write a lot of things that this is. So we just use this emoji that okay, is smiley, that means it's okay, fine, that's it. I do not want to write a lot of thing. So rather than text message, we can use the emoji. Rather than this, we can use the plots. So they are basically these things. Now in the plots, there are a lot of types of plots. So some we have seen previously. We have seen this bar plot and histogram for these type of data. Then we have not directly done the scatter plots. So basically, we will do this. So let's say I'm gonna plot this height. Okay. So now you can see just by looking at this data, this one is the maximum. There is no maximum value here. This one is the maximum, and maximum is 185. So you do not need to do that. Okay. Then we can do this height and weight kind of thing also. So we have in HW, we have height and weight. So we have height, and here we have weight. Okay. So you can see this is the data of height and weight. Okay. This is the data of height and weight of like six people. So you can have height and weight data, and then you can see whether there is a line or not. So if there is a good line, then you can see you can basically plot something. So let's say you can further make a plot a weight variable, and then you can put the height and weight, and you can have a better result also. Okay. Okay. Now if in this height I can put this uh, color as red, so these will come as red. I can put this as black or whatsoever I want. That doesn't matter. Okay. So when the next is we have seen that in last class also, but let's see this again. So if I will do the bar plot of review, as I've told you in the last class, then it will just come as this. So which is meaningless because I don't know. I mean, it is one review, two review. What will I do with this? So for that, we use bar plot of table of review. So now you can see that most of the people have given this three. So maximum people have given this four, then three, and then five, and then one, and then two. So you do not need to go to this, and you can just plot this, and it will be much more helpful. Now, if I will do this bar plot of height, so here also it is same. Now, what is the difference now? So it has just plotted this 160, 180, 176, etc. So now it has nothing to make like a table, right? In that we have made the table because there was a repetition. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when there was a repetition, I have found that okay, there are how many times 1, 2 has come. But when you go to this, the table of height will be simply, let me show you what it will be. The table of height. So the table of height is all the values has come only one time. So that if I will plot this bar plot, then it will just okay. So 166 has come two times, but then it is still not making sense because still most of the place it is just 111 value. So we do not know how the height is basically changing. So what do we have is that for categorical variable, let's say where I can divide in category, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, or 1, 2 up to 10 even. But for the values which are continuous, we do not use the bar plot, we use the histogram. So now you can see how histogram. So basically it has taken 5, okay, in one go. So you can see that there are only one people who is here, there this. And the long data set, if you will have, then these frequencies will change. So you will have, let's say, long frequency. Here the data set is very small, just we just only have 15 values. That is why it has come like this. If you will have much more values, then it will be much better. Now you can also see that there is a gap. So in between 170 to 175 there is nothing, because here you can see there is no value from 170 to 175. So that point it is just nil, because there are no points. So these are basically these bar plots. If I will do the bar plot of this, okay, so you can see how 0 1 come. So basically, if you can divide this into category, let's say finite, or finite, actually you have those, they are also the finite values. But basically if you can divide some category, then we use the bar plot. And if you have this continuous data, then we use the histogram plot. We do not use the bar plot in that way. Okay. Uh, Now, in that bar plot also, we can give some colors. Okay, so let's say in bar plot review. So there are these 5 reviews, and if I want to have different colors for this, then what I can do is that I can give different colors. Okay, so I can give red, green, even some different cyan and blue, and then you may even have just all the shades of blue. So let's say light blue, and here even you can have dark blue, or I don't know, I don't remember others. So you can see that you can make your bar plot colorful too. Okay, so this one is red, dark blue, cyan blue, light blue. So you can have this, even you can change, then there are a lot of ways you can change. And with this we can, what we can do is that, so here you can see I don't know what plot this is, so I can write main. Main is basically the title, so I can write review ratings. So you can see these are the review ratings of the customers. Okay. Okay. Then you can make some legend too, but okay, let's just do this. So what we can do, we can make some legends, legend.text, or we can use that. We can just write 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you can see you have this legend also, that one is this, because right now we know what this is. We know this is 1 rating, 2 rating, or what we can do is that whether we can remove this, or we can write this is very bad. It's bad. This is average. This is good, and this is very good. Okay, so now we know there are 8 people who are saying the product is very bad, 5 people are saying it is bad, then some 13 people are saying it is average, some 14 people are saying it is good, and then some 11 or 12 people are saying it is very good. So you can see that I have review ratings, I have different colors, and this basically helps if you have different colors, otherwise it will be tough. So if I will remove this, then you can see all are in same colors. Okay, so I don't know which one is this, so these are all in same color, so I cannot specify this, so I need to give them colors so that I can specify this. Okay, uh, then you can like basically add a lot of things. You can change this x lab y lab. So x lab, basically I can write uh, rating, and y lab I can write number of people, right? So you can see this is the rating and this is the number of people. And then you can basically have a lot of things you can add based on whatsoever plot you want. You can change its size. Let's say you are submitting or you want to present this plot somewhere, then you may want to change the basically text size, then you can change this text size a lot of things. Okay, so these are basically the bar plots, graphic plots, etc. Okay, so in the next class we will further see a lot of different plots too. Okay, uh, so we have seen some plots, we will see more plots. And then there is pie chart, then there is a scatter plot, and then there are, let's say, this is, let's say, in one direction, right? This one, height and weight, so we have given 2 variables, and then we can have 3 variables, etc. too. Okay, so okay, let us do the example related to that now. Okay, so okay, from here, so which R command will give you uh, the absolute frequencies for this vector. See, see, no, see, absolute frequency. So for absolute frequency, what we have seen, the absolute frequency is by this, and the relative frequency we find by dividing by length. So C will be its relative frequency, right? Not absolute one. So for the absolute one, what we need, y, okay, a. Okay. So this one will be the absolute one, and this one will be the relative one. Okay. So what does this command return? So table of this. Oh, see, I meant the data vector. Okay. Okay, fine. What do you think will be the answer of this? What command table will give this? What will be this answer? Given this B, right? So that will give us the absolute values or absolute frequency. Okay, now this Why do you think it will return this? We want returns at 5, 9, and 7. D, right? So we do not have this decile function. We directly use the quantile, and then also we do not give the probabilities in terms of the percentage. We give in terms of this. Okay. So this is 0 to 1 and divided by 0.15. B. Right. So in that last one we have this 15, so it will not start from the 15, it will start from the 0. Okay. The next is we want to create a bar plot for this data. So what will it be? D, right? So in the first one, they have not given the table. In the second one, we have not given the C. That it has not defined in proper form. In this, they have not given the table, and in the last one, the table is given. The data vector is given in correct form. The length is given. It is given in the correct form, and it is divided also. So that will be the correct answer. Okay. The next is generate a red colored bar plot with this title of this data. Red colored bar plot. Okay, so here you all you need to do is that we do not write the title, right? So these are anyway wrong, and here in this they have given main without this inverted comma. So we cannot write this in that form. So the only correct option will be the A because we have table main and the color is red. So A will be the correct answer. Okay, the next is basically we will see in the next class because we have not seen how do we find the variance and then box plot and all. So this we will see in the next class. Histogram we have just seen. So I think you can answer that. How we can which one will give the histogram? Okay, the D is the correct answer. Okay, the D one. Right. And we have seen that to forget continuous we use this histogram. Okay, so that is more or less for the today's class. So if you have any question, then you can ask. Okay, so if there is no questions, we will just do a very quick revision whatsoever we have done. Okay, so firstly I'm going to remove everything. Okay, let me see where's this. Okay, so Firstly, we have seen that there are different ways by which we can import the CSV. The one way is we can write the file path like this. Other way we can write the file path like this, and both will be same, as you can see. The next is if you have all of your files in one directory, then you can just get this directory and set this directory. And if you will again write get wd, because I have get those directory previously changed, that is why it is coming like this. Then you can uh, basically see the CSV files, and then you can change its column names. Remove all of this right now. You can see the mean of this, and for all the information you can just do the summary. Then we can find the ratio, and then we have this table format, so we can read the table .txt files by using read.table. For read.table, read.csv, we do not need uh, any library, but for Excel files we need library. So this one is basically it has two sheets, so we can see that in the second sheet there is G, in the first sheet there was no G, so I have increased one more row. Then we can find its summary, and we can see that there is a change, okay, when we have increased one more row. The next is we can basically see how many number of rows we want. We can get that I want only 4 rows, then I can only get 4 rows. Then basically, rather than writing 1 2, I can give the sheet name by writing sheet equal to this. Then we have seen how we can basically export. So till now we were just importing the files and doing the operations on this. Now we can export the file. So if we will export the file and write append as true, then you can see here uh, we have this file where these are the values. So this one is x and this one is y. Then we have seen that we can make basically one more column, and then after that I can export it, and then I have this exported file, and then the ratio will come which was not previously there. So you can see it was not previously there, but now I have included the ratio too. Then we have seen how we can find the absolute frequency. So this one is relative frequency, this one is absolute frequency. Okay. And then we have seen that how we can find the quantiles. So we can find not only at a specific like 25 50%, first quantile, second quantile, we can give the probability on our own. Then we can find the percentile also just by giving the sequence. Then we have seen we can basically make the scatter plot of one variable, two variable. Then we have seen we can make the bar plot, and in that bar plot we can give a lot of things. We can change its colors, we can add a legend, we can give what is our x and y axis, we can give what is the main basically title. And then we have seen that there is no meaning of finding the bar plot of height. So we use histogram for this continuous variable. And then we have seen how we can make the bar plot of this. So this was all regarding to this class. So okay, thank you for joining. And if you have any question, you can ask, or otherwise you can join in the next class and then you can ask. Yeah, you can say. Just so you know, I'm not able to hear anything, so maybe you can write. I mean, if you're saying anything, I'm not able to hear anything, so you can write it in the message. How to change x or y axis values for graph bars. Uh, Okay, so here you can see I have only given the X lab and Y lab. This is rating number of people. You can change X ticks. Okay, so I don't remember the exact this, but if you will search in the Google, there are the values where you can just change X ticks. And in X ticks, you may write like V, B, B, etc. here in this format. So there is X ticks and there are Y ticks, which you can include to change the values even. Okay. Yeah. So six and mm, okay. So if I will do this, X A X T. Okay. So if I have given X A X T, I have basically removed all the values, and then I can include this. Basically X labs. Then I can include, right? So now it has changed to A, B, C, D, E. So previously it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it is A, B, C, D, E. So that you can do you. This one is basically used to remove this, and then you can see that at this axis, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you just need to write A, B, C, D, E, or you can write whatsoever you want. You can even write uh, this. So you can write this, okay? V, 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 average, and then, let me do this firstly, and here. So now you have very bad, bad, average, good, and then very good in that way, okay? So actually, I work with Python and R both, so sometimes it may happen. So I think in that we use this. Okay. Any other question you have? Okay, so basically, to make your bar plot or whatsoever plot, you can basically do a lot and lots of changes because when I plot it, so this is even so small, then I need to increase its size and I may need to remove it, remove the title, change the title. So it may happen. So, according to your work, you can just define whatsoever you want in that plot. Okay. Okay, then thank you for joining. And see you in the next class.